I'm waging battle on behalf of what I think distinguishes Shimer.
Well, you said you also say you restore serious civic education, but you didn't bring anything to the curriculum. In fact, I believe you have no say in the curriculum.
That's exactly right.
So you lied.
No,
right?
no. The whole
So
discussion. What are we talking about here? What's been the single point in my proposed guidepost that has brought the most problems?
Right, but you said the curriculum in your letter, so that's a lie.
Yeah, but
right?
no. It's not
Yes,
a lie.
It's a lie.
No, remember that.
You didn't bring those documents into our curriculum.
Exactly. This is a letter to somebody who knows nothing about Shimer.
So it's all right. You lied. So
it's not a misrepresentation.
It's willful misrepresentation.
No, it's not.
It's actually sensitive.
It's not willful misrepresentation. Think about it here. The whole thing we're talking about is that I'm saying that the study of the founding documents is essential to what we do at Shimer. When I get, and this shouldn't be news to anybody, in my inaugural address, I made the same argument. I have been writing and speaking for the last 10 years, trying to call on all colleges and universities to follow Shimer's example and include the founding documents. They should be required of all students, regardless of major, even if it's not a liberal arts college. So what I said was precisely true in that.
As you will read in the enclosed newspaper article, my success at restoring civic education to the curriculum has labeled me a conservative menace. That would be a lie.
No, it's not.
That's incorrect.
No. If you read the reader's critique of me, it was doing that. They're the ones who didn't get all their facts straight. We could spend another 2 hours talking about all the facts they didn't get straight, in which, on the basis of what they perceive to be that activity, I'm somehow labeled a conservative menace.
I believe the conservative menace the reader article was referring to was questioning was the preponderance of new board members with a set of given ideological tendencies.
Right,
and they made no mention of
and
it.
as proof of that, as far as the reader is concerned, and as proof of that, look at what's happening to the mission statement. Sort of, aha, look, American democracy is getting put into the mission statement. Therefore, reasoning backwards, this must be the influence of an ideological agenda on the part of you.
Well,
It's a reasonable supposition, I think.
Yeah, and
well,
you said the board members have the final say. Aren't you worried because Patrick Parker did try to bring Larry on, who's the president of Hillsdale College, so when you don't want to be like to the board, aren't you worried?
The majority of board members were not recruited by me. And all the board members that I did recruit, we didn't talk about politics. What we talked about was free exchange of ideas.
The question is whether it's a source of concern to you.
Yeah.
It's obviously a source of concern to some of you. It's not, because I've talked with these people. I mean, the first thing you do when you recruit board members is...
Yeah, but are you worried about what they'll do to the mission statement?
No, I'm not. I think that they all recognize that liberal education transcends ideology.
But what about Shimer education? Do they understand
I mean,
Shimer education?
Well,
Do you?
I think I do, but I've tried to articulate it. In fact, I have tried to give what I think is a better case.
And we have disagreed.
Yeah,
I
it's not
understand.
merely a misunderstanding, it's a disagreement.
I understand that, but again, we want to beware of presentism, right? I'm speaking for 60 years of a Great Books core curriculum.
No, you're not.
Yeah,
Are you speaking as an individual or as the president of our college?
I'm
I
speaking
think
as
there's
someone-
a difference.
I'm speaking as someone who has, like all of you, looked back at the Great Books core curriculum for 60 years at Shimer and said, why do we do this and why does it work?
So you do not concern yourself with the present.
I do, but I concern myself
But
with both.
you've said you looked at the past and you look ahead to the future, but you have said nothing about what the present Shimer is.
The past and the future are connected by the present. I look at all three.
But the present disagrees with you.
Well, some members of the present disagree with me, for which I'm very sorry.
Who agrees with you?
And you know what?
Who agrees with you?
Okay, and again, are we back to argumentum ad popular
No,
here?
but does anyone agree with you, Tom? I just want to know. Does anyone agree with you? Does anyone here
You know,
agree with you?
I'm not exactly sure what's going on. All I know is that when I came to this school, I did come to this school because it was unique to other liberal arts educations. I didn't want to go to Lake Forest. I didn't want to go anywhere else. And I came here, and I know that they, whoever the founding fathers were, like described it as a tribe. And they wanted to keep it that way because of this essential, this democratic influence that we can have And what I'm seeing is that you aren't really even trying to come to a consensus. You have this one idea and you see us as having another idea, but I mean, have you tried to find a middle ground with the people?
It's the reason I've had these 3 meetings. I would like there to be a consensus too.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen you posit anything that forms a middle ground. I've seen you, defend your position and, describe it, answer some questions or not answer some questions, to be quite honest. But I haven't seen you really posit anything that tries to form a middle ground, something that reconciles what you see and what people around here see.
Well, we've all defended our positions here today, and rightly so. That's what we always do.
Well,
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying to be more than that. I'm saying, again, answering the question. I mean, have you tried to really to suggest something that forms a bridge rhetorically?
Well, my hope and expectation is that, as I said here, it's my responsibility as president, openly and honestly, to let the board know the lack of consensus here, and they will look at the competing versions, including both the argument for keeping it exactly as it is, or if we're going in my direction. Out of that, some sort of consensus may develop.
So, but have you tried to form? So is that a no?
Yeah.
Definitely a no.
As our president, have
yeah,
you tried
yeah.
to find a middle ground?
A middle ground is fine.
No, that's
But have you?
Oh, wait, well, let me ask you if there are shared principles. If you're asking me to sacrifice my principles, then you're asking something I can't do.
Are you asking us to sacrifice our principles?
Pardon?
Are you asking us to sacrifice
No,
our
I'm not.
principles?
But you're not willing to represent our principals while you're out
Right.
soliciting new students or new donors or new board members.
I
So
believe-
therefore, our principals are not only, just out. It's more like they just don't.
The
exist.
mission statement is not supposed to be an articulation of your principles. It's supposed to be an articulation of the mission statement of the college. And the way you're defending this is as if we're somehow attacking the very premise your life is based on. It's not. This is about the school. This is about Shimer College.
It's not about you